you really hate Sean Combs.
Why would they be thinking that?
Because of the things that you post on Instagram,
Yeah,
because of the...
Look at this. And just, let's stop for a second and do say that I hated him enough to hire his kids. And we've never done anything to each other. So it's just competitive energy and things that you say about other artists while you're in hip-hop culture.
You guys don't need to worry about me getting revenge from Diddy. I've got 3 moves that make sure he'll never be able to come after me or my family. First, I personally reached out to the victims' legal teams. The real reason he's not getting out is those buried cases behind the scenes. I provided legal funding for 7 victims who had been silent for years and brought in the top criminal attorneys in the country. Second, I bought up every potential post-release business deal he had lined up. I planned this 2 years in advance, so by the time he got sentenced and still had hope of getting out, every partner had already cut ties with him. I know he's still in there fantasizing about a comeback, but the truth is, he's never come.
We're losing.
Netflix releasing never-before-seen video of Sean Diddy Combs filmed just days before his arrest on charges of sex trafficking and racketeering in 2024. The footage is part of a 4-part docuseries, Sean Combs: The Reckoning, premiering Tuesday.
How did you get that footage of Diddy?
I figure most journalists would not disclose their sources.
Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
So when this airs, that'll be the first time that his legal team, Diddy, that everybody knows that this footage is now seeing the light of day. Perhaps.
Combs' team firing back in a statement to NBC News, saying the Netflix so-called documentary is a shameful hit piece and that they relied on stolen footage that was never authorized for release. His team sending a cease and desist to Netflix.
You didn't realize on Monday that every word that you said was going to be invalidated.
For many years, some of hip-hop's biggest stars were not protected by innocence, but by an atmosphere of silence that discouraged difficult conversations. 50 Cent's new documentary examines why that silence seemed to surround Sean Combs, Jay-Z, and Beyoncé for such a long time. Rather than presenting the most controversial moments in hip-hop as separate and unrelated events, the film suggests they may be connected through a broader culture where influence, loyalty, and discretion carried tremendous power. Seen through 50 Cent's perspective, the focus moves beyond individual personalities and instead explores the systems that allow these situations to continue. Who gains when important stories gradually disappear from public attention? Who pays the price when difficult questions are left unresolved? And why do certain narratives remain trapped in speculation instead of reaching clear answers? When similar patterns continue to appear across different artists and different generations, at what point does coincidence begin to resemble something much larger?
All of us and laughing and joking with each other. Then over the years, I see them giving garden parties. You understand what I'm saying? You could tell that the people in power had gave that reign to Diddy, and Jay was next in line. So to separate him, when in fact they may be two of the same, but because Jay-Z is low-key, that low-key sneaky shit, and Diddy is and was rambunctious, you know, just out with it. It don't mean that they not two of the same. One just a little quieter with his shit.
What happened at the basketball game? When they ran into, you guys ran into Jay-Z?
They was just talking. They was talking amongst each other about their little white girls. They little skinny white girls.
And I mean, did Diddy always say negative things about Jay around you?
The time he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay, yeah. He was. They worked it out.
Was there a reason behind it?
I couldn't tell you the reason behind it. It's probably because Big had died. I don't know what it was, man. I don't know why he wanted Ja Rule to go at Jay. I guess if he kept them beefing or kept them into some bullshit, he could rise up in between both of them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It definitely was some snake shit.
Well, you know, Meek Mill is also someone who has been tied into this whole Diddy.
Rihanna was trafficked to Def Jam.
She was an innocent baby when she came over here. And look
She
at
was
her now.
14 going on 15 years old. Flown over without parental supervision in a private plane by a man who was supposed to be a producer who auditioned her at 3 a.m. in the fucking morning in a hotel room. Auditioning at 3 a.m. in the morning, a 14-year-old girl. She was flown to another country. She was taken to Def Jam headquarters. She was left in a conference room alone with Sean Carter for nearly 6 hours alone with no parental supervision. Her father collected a $500,000 check. She has the fastest inked deal in Def Jam.
Influence within the entertainment industry rarely develops on its own. More often, it expands through connections, access, and close relationships with those who hold power. The documentary explores the idea that many careers continue to flourish while they remain connected to influential circles and may lose momentum when those ties begin to fade, suggesting that proximity itself can become a powerful source of leverage. From this perspective, the relationships surrounding Diddy and Jay-Z are presented not as proof of wrongdoing, but as important context, illustrating who remained close, who gradually distanced themselves, and who chose to stay silent. When access becomes one of the industry's most valuable forms of currency, who ultimately decides who gets to use it and who is left without it?
Think of that.
And those men sit up there and seen her being abused by him, and they did what everybody else did for years in the industry. They kept it quiet and kept doing business with her.
Do you think a lot of people know what Puff was doing and kind of just turned a blind eye?
Yeah. That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. He had got so... You're listening. Everybody in the world knew he took a cowbell and tried to beat the coach up with it. Nobody did nothing. They heard stories for years about him slapping, beating Kim and all other women that he was with. I'm surprised more haven't came out with it. They don't probably want the attention or whatever. But there's more women out there can say that he probably put their hands on them.
With Usher, Neo, and Jimmy Iovine being exposed as somebody who might have potentially seen this type of behavior, you know, do you think that they will try to call them on the stand, or, you know, like, do you think they should be held accountable for some of that too?
Well, I think that when you have situations like that and you're in a room with somebody, you can't make them see anything when they come to the stand, because all they can say is that I didn't see it. I was there. I wasn't looking in that direction. I don't know what really happened. All I know is Cassie was holding her stomach, bent over, throwing up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they'll say anything. Their lawyers will tell them what to say. They have people to teach them what to say in circumstances and situations like that. So Dawn, yes, she saw it. She saw that they were there, and they should have seen it too. She would have to describe when that happened. What did Usher do? What did Neo do? What did they say?
Public silence can sometimes reflect caution or restraint, but in other situations it may also function as a deliberate strategic choice. The documentary explores moments when well-known public figures chose not to make statements, declined interview requests, or allowed legal proceedings to speak on their behalf, decisions that shaped public perception without introducing any new information. In a media environment driven by constant headlines and rapid news cycles, silence can redirect attention, delay deeper scrutiny, and allow the conversation to move elsewhere. When the most powerful message is the decision to say nothing at all, what purpose is that silence truly serving?
Well, when I first heard the conversation, when I first heard the allegations, I said to myself, that's 2000, that's when I was there. And so I got to read what was said and how it went down and everything like that. And then first of all, I start seeing some inconsistency. But I don't want to, criticize the victim or the person that said that they was a victim, but some of the statements and some of the things that I heard was incorrect. As far as I know what we did at that time. First of all, we did not use limousines. We used SUVs in 2000. You know what I'm saying? So when she said that it was a limousine that picked her up or she went with a limousine driver, I was kind of skeptical and wanted to hear more about her story. So now she said that the limousine driver, got her into a party, but it's somehow she had to went to a gas station, and if you know that area, there's no gas stations unless you walk all the way up to 96th Street. That's like 40 something blocks. So I was like, all you had to walk to the west side, which is another 14, 15 long blocks. And then you would have to know where you're going to find that gas station because it's close to the West Side Highway. Unless she went all the way downtown, and then who gonna pick her up from that far away from the the venue where she went to. So, and then she said something about that, the allegation said something about that she went with the limo driver. So did the limo driver drop Puffing them off or Jay them off, then came back and got her, then take her to the party? It was just a lot of inconsistencies. I was like, first of all, we didn't even use limousines. You understand? Bad Boy used SUVs. So I found those being real inconsistent on what the story she was talking about. And then for limousine driver, who would know us, because our drivers didn't drive limousines, how you gonna tell somebody to get in the party? He had to go through security for that. And that just wouldn't have happened.
A significant turning point comes when allegations enter the public record through legal filings, interviews, and sworn testimony, shifting the discussion away from private speculation and into a collection of documented claims and officially recorded accounts.
Now, why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Yeah, shout out D. Haven. He actually hit us up, wanted to tell this story.
You need to talk to D. Haven.
Yeah, we need to talk to him.
I told you that last year when I put you on the phone with him.
You did.
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it. Think of the power.
Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl.
Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
The documentary does not seek to decide the final outcome. Instead, it focuses on documenting the transition from speculation to a process supported by publicly available records. As additional documents and information emerge, timelines become easier to follow, and apparent inconsistencies become more difficult to overlook. As the documented record continues to grow, the question becomes which narratives remain consistent under closer examination, and which deserve to be reevaluated in light of the expanding evidence.
That has so much promise become an icon as far as in the music business and stuff that he did to turn around and just tear his whole life down. But it's all because of his mentors and the people that trained him and taught him the music business. You know, it's all about the people who trained and taught him the music business, because Puff wasn't, he wasn't born a monster. You know what I'm saying? He was made into a monster, brother. Do you understand what I'm saying? He was made into a monster from the stuff that happened to him, the things that he had to do. You understand? The things that he had to do to become who he is. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like this, brother. You never like something so much that you can't do without, and you never be willing to do anything to get where you want to be at. You got to have principles, you got to have morals, you got to keep with that stuff. And in that music business, a lot of that stuff get thrown out the window. You understand? And that's what happened to him. He started doing the things to other people that was done to him. To keep it frank, he was doing the things to other people that was done to him. And it is what it is. You gotta know better. And if you know better, you will do better. When he was in New York City, he was like that gecko from the Geico commercial. Then he turned and started going, when he lived in Cali and Miami, he turned into Godzilla. I would see him talk about how he using drugs. He was never like that. Smoking cigarettes, smoking weed and everything like that. He turned into something that you could consider a monster, bruh. Then he started doing things to people, you understand, that he learned. That's a learned behavior, bruh. Now, I'm not saying that he may have been doing a couple of things here and there with women, stuff like that in New York, but the things that they're talking about that he was doing, bringing in prostitutes to have sex with his girl and all that stuff like that, that was some crazy stuff to me, man. So I'm just looking at this whole thing, man, and you had asked me, and we don't have these conversations like most people.
A legacy is rarely defined by a single allegation alone. It is also shaped by the way individuals, institutions, and the public respond when serious claims come to light. The documentary places influential figures within the broader context of their careers, recognizing their creative accomplishments, cultural impact, and philanthropic efforts before exploring how those legacies are tested under increasing public scrutiny. During moments of controversy, does a legacy inspire openness and transparency, or does it become a shield that protects those in power from meaningful accountability?
Lawyers and everything, his lawyers wrote that shit up, and now he presenting to the people like he wrote it. Everybody know that if he's stealing rhymes and he's stealing bars, I know that's your man, Mighty. But you know there's a lot of bars and a lot of rhymes he done stole from people. If he's stealing rhymes and he's stealing bars, he ain't write no letter like that for nobody and to nobody.
I
mean, Jay was paying homage, man, showing respect.
Oh, okay. He was showing respect?
Yeah.
Well, I guess Tupac and Biggie showed the same respect too, right? Huh? Oh, you ain't got nothing to say about that. All right, okay. I guess Big L was showing respect too, right? I guess Cam them show respect too, huh? It's a lot of rappers, man. I guess Mace was showing respect too. It's a lot of rappers, man. They don't steal. Yo, Mighty, I'm finna blow you out the water. This nigga stole the whole song. I got 99 problems, and now he finding out a bitch is one. Come on now. He stole a whole song from Ice-T. Didn't give him the props on it. I know you're gonna cut this part out, but it's the truth. Let's get back to the letter. Now, he called the lawyer ambulance chase and all that stuff like that. I think Tony Busby probably got a lawsuit against him now. You understand? Defamation of character, the whole 9 yards. So Jay gonna have to say, I didn't write that, my lawyer wrote that. But he came out like saying that he wrote it, like he was doing that. So he got him a defamation claim, defamation. I think Tony Busby got a defamation lawsuit against him right now. Against his character, this, that, and the third, the whole 9 yards. So as far as that letter is concerned, man, Tony Busby sent him a demand letter, award letter. All lawyers do that. He didn't go out the scope of what the information he had from representing his client. Now Jay-Z is sitting back, you know what I'm saying, going at him personally. Now, all this back and forth and this media stuff like that, 9 times out of 10, you usually don't find that lawyers going at each other in the media. They be doing that shit in the courtroom, but it makes for entertainment. And I guess we're being entertained by this bullcrap.
By influencing which stories receive attention and how they are presented. The documentary examines headlines, omissions, and the different ways news outlets frame the same events, exploring why some stories dominate public discussion while others gradually disappear from view. Editorial choices, what is emphasized, what is minimized, and what is left unreported, can have a significant impact on public perception. When media coverage becomes uneven or inconsistent, who ultimately controls the narrative and who ends up bearing the consequences?
I want to say this to protect myself, that there's stories of Jay talking to underage girls. It was a girl from my block that was 16, 17 years old that Jay was talking to. If she was 17. So there's plenty of stories out there that they might flood the market of Jay talking to underage girls. I heard this kid that is claiming to be his son. His mother was 15 when she conceived him and had him at 16. And Jay refused to do a blood test or anything like that. And all of a sudden, when this has gotten real big, and Tony Busby had taken the kid case, the kid just got arrested for having a gun in his car, I think, like that. Did you hear something about that? That the kid got arrested for having a gun in his car, and when they go and watch the tape, somebody was planting a gun in the kid's car. Now the kid who never been in trouble to that degree, and now he's facing a case for a gun case for having a loaded firearm in his car. So, answer your question. There's plenty of stories. Ain't Beyoncé one of those stories? Isn't Foxy Brown one of those stories? Isn't that kid mother one of his stories? There's a lot of stories, bro. So that's what I say about it.
Those who decide to speak publicly often encounter criticism or backlash, while those who remain silent may gradually fade from public attention. The documentary explores claims of legal, social, and economic pressure without attempting to judge their accuracy, focusing instead on the environment in which those choices are made. Fear does not always depend on certainty to influence behavior, it only needs to seem credible. In a system where the consequences of speaking out appear unequal, how free is the decision to speak
Anybody
in the first
can
place?
come on this internet and say anything, right? And dude is getting a whole lot of attention because people even calling me, asking me about him, you know, and I don't know him from a can of paint. He even mentioned my name, saying that I know what I know. I don't know what he knows, but I do know this, that it's only 3 people that had contracts with Puff and Bad Boy. Me, Wolf, and Paul Offord. If he didn't come through Paul Offord Security, Green Gate Security, he didn't have a contract with Puff. Because anybody who worked for Puff, other than me and Wolf, came through Green Gate Security. That was Paul's security thing. Especially at the time that he was saying that he worked for Puff. Or Puff offered him $30,000. Now, anybody knows this, that Bad Boy took 50% of all this artist publishing, right? 50% of all the artist publishing straight out the rip. Then Puff gave Big $200,000 for the rest of his publishing. So what publishing did he was trying to get and keep from Puff? You understand? What publishing was Puff was trying to get when he already had it? He had already paid for it. What part of the catalog was he talking about? I don't understand that. And then he said that Puff offered him $30,000. I can't say he lied, but I can say that he wasn't a part of Bad Boy Security that I know. I knew everybody who worked during them days. You understand? And I don't know dude from a can of paint.
So whoever this Uncle Ron dude is, he's a liar then. He's a fraud.
Is he a fraud? Bruh, he's what he is. He wasn't part of our security that I knew of. Not at that time.
The documentary reaches its conclusion without offering a final verdict, deliberately returning to one central principle. Accountability should never be confused with a presumption of guilt. Rather, it reflects a commitment to allowing a fair, transparent, and impartial process to take its course.
I'm gonna tell you the song she should have remade. It's a hit. It would have done great for her. She should have tried it on. Tammy Wynette. Classic. Stand by your man. Don't act like you don't know that. Remake that. Stand by that. That's a real country hit. Jolene, nice. But it has a ring to it. Stand by your man. Yeah. Whoops you and disrespects you with other like Kathy Coriana White.
All right, well, let's do it like
who was
this.
Actually carrying his baby while you was spanking it. Why your husband don't want to put his seed inside of you? He put it in everybody else? Wild in this world, yo.
It's funny, you open up Beyonce's internet, it just gets weird.
Beyonce's internet.
That's what we're calling
that
it.
That belongs to the devil. Unless you calling that the devil, she ain't nothing but an employee.
Oh.
And half of which dumbass bitch.
You know, it's funny that it's crazy you say these things.
Why don't nobody want to accept that bitch?
I think
she went and killed the girl Cats.
Okay.
A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drunk. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her and shit while she was asleep.
Oh
snacking on his bitch, killing people cats. And guess what? They wouldn't give her the restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too. Which is interesting because she's a brilliant musician and she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started all the girls. Impulse control issues? I don't know.
Okay,
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston.
Institutions carry out investigations and courts assess the available evidence. The public also has a responsibility to avoid rushing to conclusions, separate documented facts from speculation, and pursue clarity without losing sight of fairness. If power is able to flourish in the shadows for long periods of time, what responsibility does it ultimately owe to the public it influences?